Welcome to another top 10 list. I haven't done one of these in a while. This is my top 10 most wanted anime crossovers. Yeah, these are crossovers I really wanted to see. Now, I haven't seen that many anime crossovers. Like, the only ones I have seen is Fairy Tail and Rave Master, which basically, if you see a thumbnail, that's basically that one. The only other ones I've seen is basically the ones that Toriko and One Piece have had, and of course the one with Toriko, One Piece, with the cast of Dragon Ball Z. I love crossovers. I like how these characters gel together. Aside from these crossovers, I haven't seen any other ones. I know there's others out there, just that I just haven't seen them. Honest to God, I haven't. I'm sure there are others. I know that Watch Mojo did their own top 10 list. Some of whom I did want to see, some I just didn't want to see. Like there was one where I had JoJo Bizarre Adventures crossover with I don't remember which one it was, and one series that was not on the list I was not very happy did not make this list was Black Clover. Yes, what, you don't care about Black Clover? I don't get the negativity toward Black Clover, because Black Clover is a fantastic series. Black Clover is actually on my list anyways, but you'll find out exactly what series I want to cross over with. Now, a couple of these crossovers are from the same creator. I figured though, why the heck not? Yeah. So, first off, let's start with honorable mention. Like with Fairy Tail Raymaster, the crossover done by this, both series done by the same person. So, why not this one? Same writer, Fairy Tail at Eden Zero. Now, this may or may not happen due to the fact that Eden Zero takes place in a completely different universe, but it probably wouldn't hurt the fact that, well, I'm sure that the writer of the series probably would love to do another crossover between his own franchises. Yeah, this one probably could work, but some of the characters like, hey, you look like me. Get that thing a lot. Because Eden Zero has this thing where a lot of the characters in the series are basically what the writer of the series did. He took characters he already created and used their character designs and just basically used that particular design for reshape of a character in Eden Zero. But it probably wouldn't hurt the fact that, well, I'm sure you probably would love to do another one, especially since the first one he did was fantastic. Yep. Now let's move on to number 10. This one, believe it or not, I actually did want to see. And here's kind of the weird thing about this. According to what I heard, this crossover was actually in the works to do, but it got canceled. What crossover is this? Naruto and Bleach. Yes. Two series that take place in completely different universes. I personally wouldn't mind it at all. As a matter of fact, also Bleach also didn't make that list for some strange reason. Yeah, I'm like, really? What does Watch Mojo have against freaking Bleach? I mean, they have so much negativity for Bleach and Black Clover for no reason. They think that they're like, oh, these characters have got like no character at all. Really? Have you read the manga? Have you watched the freaking anime? No, you haven't. Clearly, you have a bias against Bleach. It's like there's also a ton of Bleach fans out there. I'm one of them. I became a Bleach fan a couple years ago. Yes, this one I would definitely like to see. How would this one work out? Despite the fact they're in two completely different universes? Use a portal. Yes. Either one way this could happen, I would have it set. Probably, I would have it definitely after the final arc, but after the first light novel, the one that said 3 years of adventure series, and where you have it where Ichigo and Orihime are a couple at this point because it was hinted that Ichigo had a thing for Orihime. Of course, it was hinted that these two become a couple anyways. So, I would set it there, but from Naruto's perspective, I would set it definitely after the film The Last and the Sakura light novel. Because I love that novel anyway, so I would say after that and have it where, like, you have the main cast of the series just have a portal open up and just end up, like, right in, like, the Hidden Leaf Village. Everyone's wondering, like, where the heck they are. At one point, they're actually surrounded by the Anbu Black Ops. And this is just my personal story, basically, of how it work. And of course, they all have to stand out because of Naruto. Because Naruto tells him stand down. Well, for one thing, he's a hero from the Great War, and plus, he's basically first in line for the Hokage position, of course, before he became Hokage. And of course, they meet each other, and of course, take on some hollows, might take on evil Ron car, so like that. Yeah, I think this crossover might work, or they can have it where the cast Naruto end up in the world of Bleach. Imagine seeing Naruto encountering a freaking car. Yes, I know he's a counter train and a blimp, but imagine his reaction to see a car. Or well, they do have cell phones in the world of Naruto, so that comes a bit later. But an actual car where you drive, that might be different. Or seeing how Tokyo, well, even though it's Katakura Town, but it's a section of Tokyo. But I would personally mind it. Yeah. Number 9, Raidmaster Fairy Tail 2. Love the first one. I would love to see another one. Though I would have this one definitely set after the events of both series. Well, in the case of Raymaster, definitely set after the events of its series. I mean, why the heck not? In the case of Fairy Tail, I would definitely have it set during the Century Quest. Definitely. And I think this is probably also one crossover that I think people who love the anime version of the crossover for this one probably would love to see another one because it was that damn good. It was really enjoyable, especially in characters. The characters both franchise interact with each other, like seeing the main character Raymaster. I think it's Haru, in like meet up with Natsu, have a conversation, and them gonna brawl across this whole town, and Lucy and Er's what's her name? Elsie, I think her name is the woman who is Haku's love interest and later wife, and also later the mother of his only child. Yeah. And of course, Lucy not doing pretty much anything. I would have a change with Lucy actually something because during that crossover, that was one of my biggest problems with the crossover. Lucy does virtually nothing aside from standing around. I mean, at least that Urza managed to do something. It's so funny though the fact that Urza meets up with them, and also apparently there was also plans to have it where like Gray's necklace that he wears has a connection to so the guy who's a silversmith. Yeah, I would love if they actually did, but it probably would work. And of course, I love the fact that he pokes fun at Gray's habit when he strips butt naked. He says, "Why are you naked? It's just a habit of mine." Yeah. All right, number 8. I think this is number 8. This was actually on, believe it or not, Watch Motor's basically top 10 anime crossovers they want to see. I do want to see this one too because, well, same guy who created both series, so why the heck not? Yu Hakusho and Hunter x Hunter. This could work, but once again, like with Naruto and Bleach, has to involve freaking portals because Yu Hakusho takes place in the real world, while Hunter x Hunter takes place in his own world. Yes. Unless somehow they say that they take place in the same world, which they don't. Yeah. I mean, this crossover could work. I mean, yeah. But by the way, the Yu Hakusho, this is not the only one basically in this list. Yep. Number 7 is Naruto and Fairy Tail. Yep. This one might actually work because, well, some of the spells they cast in let's say, Fairy Tail, it's kind of similar to what they do in Naruto with the Jutsus. It's very similar, and it's not a crossover people tend to think of when people think of doing, people think of basically crossovers they want to see. This is one I personally want to see because I would love to see interaction between my big one I would like to see is between Natsu and Naruto. Yeah, I'm sure that Hinata and Lucy would get on great because they both come from very wealthy families. hmm Though in the case of Lucy, she's not family's not wealthy anymore, but yeah, but they both come from wealthy families. I could definitely see it, and plus Gray is kind of like Sasuke, so I could definitely see these characters gelling. I mean, it's not technically the only character I can think of is kind of like Urza and Naruto is probably Tsunade, not Tsunade. Probably Tamari is probably close I can think of. Probably Tsunade possibly, but yeah, I could definitely see this crossover working. Next one is another fairy tale one. One Piece and Fairy Tale. I've been wanting to see this one since well, if you look at Lucy and Nami, these two characters have got very similar faces and very similar character designs. I highly doubt that the creator of Fairy Tale ripped off Lucy from One Piece. I highly doubt it, but basically very similar character designs. hmm Yes, and they can kind of have it instead of using a portal with this one. I would have it where they get lost in a storm and they end up in the world of Fairy Tale via one of the ports they basically managed to get to, and they end up well kind of near Magnologia, the town that Fairy Tale Guild is based in. I could definitely see that. Yeah, it would be quite interesting to see. Well, uh, not to try to avoid Lucy's big, not Lucy, Luffy's big arms. Yeah, and plus, if they did done with this, Colin Clickabear would have so much fun because she voices two of the characters. I'm sure she would love it. Oh yeah. Next one, and this is one that I don't think anybody's ever considered this one, and this is the only one I consider. This is one of two for one of the series. The other one, it's the other one currently I could see basically crossing with this one. Black Clover and Seven Deadly Sins. Yes. I don't see why not, because, well, both series involve demons in some way. Though in the case of Black Clover, it's not to the most recent chapters. Well, in the case of Seven Deadly Sins, it's pretty much the start of the series. I could definitely see this series. I could definitely see this crossover working. Yes. And plus, same level of tech as both countries. So, I mean, yeah, they could have it where they're kind of in the same world in some way, except they can have it where the kingdom is basically just across the ocean. You can have the the kingdoms, the card kingdoms, probably in a similar area. I mean, I don't think it's on the same island as let's say where Seven Days Sin takes place. I think probably just over like probably a distant place. I could definitely see. Yeah, I could definitely see that. All right. Number four, and this is one that I've talked to like maybe one person. He thinks this crossover might be a good idea. My Hero Academia and One Punch Man. The only reason I would put these two together because these are the only two superhero mangas that I can think of that are out there, and I could see this working. hmm Yeah, but the only difference is, despite the fact both take place in modern day, the thing with One Punch Man, it looks like it kind of does take place in Japan in a way, but they all have cities of like City A, City Z. It's particularly very weird, and plus Hero Association, kind of similar with this one, and I mean, couldn't let's say that takes place in the same universe? I highly doubted that. I mean, I think that probably Mob Psych 100 probably takes place in the same universe as this. I'm sure it probably does because it's the creator of one. He created both series. Yeah, but in the case of this one, probably a portal with this one. Yeah, that's the one I can see how this one happened. Number three, and this is one that actually I think some people do want to see, but I'm surprised this particular crossover didn't make Watch Mojo's basically top 10 anime crossovers people want to see. Yu Yu Hakusho and Bleach. Why would I want to see this one? Because Bleach took inspiration from Yu Yu Hakusho. Now, the only crossover thing that's similar to this, we have one series that's inspired by a different series, and the other crossover has been Case Closed and Lupin the Third. Yeah, because Lupin the Third basically served as loose inspiration for Case Closed. And they've done two crossovers. I haven't seen them yet, but they have the two crossovers. This one I could definitely see working because they both take place in modern day. I mean, there's nothing that says they can't. My only premise this one is that you can have it where, well, like with the case of Naruto and Bleach, have it where it's set after, definitely like 3 years after the series, like after the final arc, like right after the light novel, the first one where you have Rukia and Renji get married. I would definitely say after that, and have it where there's him at the Soul Society, basically Ichigo, Orihime, Chad, Ururu, and Ruki and Renji. I'm sure that Orihime probably invited um, Tatsumi, because that's her best friend, out to the area where Yu Hakusho took place. And you can have it where they're investigating some hollows in the area. Yeah, they're sent by the Soul Society to investigate hollows in the area. And the area where they come to is where, well, I don't remember the character's name. Well, the old lady who in the dub is voiced by um the one who does the dub voice for Frieza. Yeah, that one, Chris Ayers. Yeah, going to that temple and basically having hollows, and of course, everybody's and having the cast to have like Kurama and all the other characters basically interact with each other. I'm sure Orihime and Kikyo would basically interact very well because of how much they have two awesome guys basically that they're with. Though I would have from Yu Yu Hakusho's perspective, I would take place like several years after the series, like a good like 10 years after the series, where Yusuke has started up his own PI agency, and he's kind of like kind of like a manga. He's kind of like an anime version of John Constantine, where he investigates supernatural-based crimes, and he gets paid for it. Probably gets paid pretty handsomely too. Like he does some exorcisms, and basically a lot of supernatural stuff in the area. He probably still is investigating that, and of course they work together, stop some hollows. And plus, because both franchises and characters have supernatural awareness, spiritual awareness, I could definitely see this working. Excuse me. All right. Number 2, Fairy Tail and Black Clover. Definitely another one I personally would love to see because, well, both series feature wizards. Why not? I would definitely have it set during the Century Quest arc. We have Team Natsu. I would throw in Juvia there as well because why not? Where they end up in the Clover Kingdom and, well, they kind of got there via some other spatial anomaly, kind of like Universe 1, where they kind of got switched over to where they were, and they end up in the Royal Capital. That's when they run into all the rogue squads. You have various knights basically take on this group. You can have where Urza takes on Charlotte. Why not? Because both lovely ladies are voiced by Colleen Clickenbeard. A person would love to see that. You could have, well, Natsu take on Asha and all the other characters. Yeah, and they probably have some villain in the air they probably team up with. They probably team up against. Yeah, but I could definitely see this crossover working because the fact wizards. The difference is that the wizards in Black Clover work for the government. The wizards in the Fairy Tail have their own guilds. And finally, and this is one that my number one most wanted crossover is something that I think every single anime fan has wanted to see for almost, I'd say almost 20, I would say almost 10 years. I would say probably almost 20 years people have really wanted to see this one. Which crossover am I talking about? Dragon Ball and Naruto. Yes, this is one people have really wanted to see. I'm surprised this one did not make the Watch Mojo's like most wanted crossover list, like anime crossovers, because this is one I think everybody wants. It's Dragon Ball and Naruto. Why would you not have this on your list, Watch Mojo? Yeah, because you have all these other ones. Some of them quite interesting, but this one, I'm surprised this one did not make the list at all. And I'm sure that Kishimoto will be open to this right away. If he's offered to do a crossover with Dragon Ball, he's like, oh yeah, I'm for that. Akira Toriyama, I'm sure he probably would be up to it. Kishimoto, definitely. But in the case of doing this would be quite difficult due to the fact that, well, Naruto was made by Studio Parrot, and the Dragon Ball franchise was made by Toei Anime. I mean, if there's, I would just do a manga version of this one first, and then do an anime one, because I'm sure that the manga won't be financially successful with Weekly Shonen Jump. I mean, after all, the both published by Weekly Shonen Jump, and over here, both their mangas are published by Viz Media. So the manga books are basically translated by Viz Media. So I don't see why not. And plus, also, they have different dub studios. Naruto's dub at Viz Media, still this very day, and the Dragon Ball franchise for the past like 20 years has been done by Funimation. It's possible this one might be a good idea, but I would just do a manga version of this first, then do an anime version. I mean, the only one I could think of, basically, of all these ones could be possible. Well, in the case of let's say Black Hole, let's say Bleach and Yu Hakusho. This one I do think it's possible because they both made the game of the same studio, so why not? The only thing that might be a slight problem is they're both made by different dub studios. Yeah, they're dub by different studios, but I think Studio Pierre will be open for this one. Plus, I would think the crossovers like this might happen now because, well, there's been rumors starting since the start of this year that the Bleach anime might come back. Yes. I personally would love to believe them if it's true. Yep. So yeah, those are my top 10 most wanted anime crossovers. Who knows these ones gonna happen? Who knows? It depends upon the studios that make the various series, okay? If anybody has their own, like, most wanted anime crossovers, feel free to do a video response, or you can also put in the comments below if anime crossovers you do want to see. I'm sure my friend Edgar would probably love to do one of these as well. My friend Tivia probably love doing one of these too. But if anyone want to do video responses, go right ahead. I'd love to see your top 10 most wanted anime crossovers, okay? But that's it for this particular review. I was planning to do another review, but I figured though when I do this instead, I'll save it for tomorrow, my reviews of One Piece, Dragon Ball Super, and Boruto. So basically we have 4 videos tomorrow, okay? But to use the next video. Bye.